All right, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Now, the first little story I have is about a mechanic business that I used to have. I used to do small engine repair, ATVs, boats, lawn mowers, generators, things like that. But with my arthritis, hard to grip small objects to work on carburetors, things like that anymore. So it's just something I had to get away from. And I let all my customers know this. Well, I had this one customer I couldn't get in touch with. It would go to voicemail, and it would tell me that the voicemail box was full. I sent a text message and never got a reply. Now, keep in mind, this guy dropped his four-wheeler off on a Thursday, bragged about how he went to buy it for $500, and it didn't start, so he got it for $100. And he was so thrilled about that. He's dropping it off on like a Thursday, and he's all, yeah, me and my friends are going to go riding Saturday, so we're going to need this four-wheeler ready by then. Well, we'll see what we can do. There ain't no guarantee on that. All right, well, you just call me and let me know. So, all right. Well, I called him and let him know. Man, this thing is missing a lot of parts. You know, you brought it to me mostly disassembled. Oh, no, it just needs the carburetor cleaned. No, man, it needs more than just the carburetor cleaned. It needs a new carburetor. It's going to have parts that we have to order. There's no way around that. So, it's not going to be ready Saturday. There ain't no way to get that here in that amount of time. Now, of course, he was a little upset about that. And he says, all right, well, I'll just come pick it up this weekend. Now, I never heard back from the guy. Again, messaged, called. I'm not going to call you repeatedly. I call one time. It won't let me leave a message. I send you a text message. I've done my due diligence. Well, like 8 months later, I am now out of the business. Again, not by choice. I was forced out because of health. And he shows up at my gate, early in the morning. Rings my ring doorbell, and he asked me, are you home? Of course, I'm not going to tell people whether I'm home or not. It seems like a good way to get your house robbed if you're not home. So I asked him what he needed, and he tells me that he's here to pick up a four-wheeler he dropped off. Well, I have no idea who this guy is. The video is not that great, and he's not looking at the camera. So he continues on. He lets me know who he is, and I'm confused at why he would think his four-wheeler was still here. So I explained to him that, hey, it wasn't worth anything. It went to the scrapyard, man. You left it beyond 30 days. You wouldn't respond to us. It's not here anymore. There's no picking it up. It's been 8 months. And he explained that he went out of town into another state working and forgot about it. But that I shouldn't have got rid of his stuff. And I don't understand why people think that. I had a lot of problems with that in the mechanic business. People that would leave stuff for 6 months to over a year and then expect to just come pick it up like you just finished it that day. So at 8 months, let's do the math on this just for the heck of it, right? Let's say there's 30 days in a month. So 30 times 8 is 240 days. So, that's $20 a day storage times 240. That's $4,800 in storage fees. So, had I still had this guy's four-wheeler, he would owe me $4,800 in storage fees for a $100 four-wheeler. So, he would have been equally upset. It wouldn't have mattered if I had the four-wheeler or not. When I told him he couldn't have it back without paying me $4,800 because I am not a storage facility, he'd have been pissed. So he's going to be pissed either way. He might as well be pissed that it's not here anymore. Because we both know he's not going to pay me $4,800. Now, I had this problem over and over and over again with various customers. Especially people with boats. They drop them off at the end of the season, and they just don't come pick them up until it's springtime and they need it again. And then they're like, oh, I thought it was just $100 to fix it. It's like, well, it's $100 to fix it, And then after we notify you, you have 30 days to come get it. After that 30 days, we start charging $20 a day. It's on the sign. It's on the paperwork you were given. What do you not understand about this? I mean, just because the shop is at my house doesn't mean I want all this stuff sitting in my yard, right? I mean, what's so hard to understand about this? You know, get it through your thick skull. Now, the next bit of entertainment, because I know that's more of a real life thing, what I just talked about. So let's get to something a bit more entertaining. Now, I've got a friend of mine, been friends for, 20 years. And his wife passed away. Now, of course, that's not funny. I'm not making fun of that. She was a wonderful, wonderful person. And she is dearly missed. But he was married for 20 years. Well, I've known him more than 20 years because they were married 20 years. And he doesn't know how to be anything but married. So once he decided it was time to move on, he was shopping around on different apps. And of course, nowadays we have Tinder. And he actually got banned from Tinder for actually trying to get to know the women rather than just have sex with them. So that's the funny part. He got banned from Tinder for trying to get to know the women, have conversations with them, rather than just trying to hook up. So that will never stop being funny to me. Then this morning, we were going out to do some repairs on a swimming pool. And this property shares a private road with one other property. And this other property, not the one we're working on, but the one where the guy come out of, they've got like 50 geese there. And then they've got trash all over the place. They had a tile saw sitting out in the rain. All these broken down vehicles. Yeah, I'm not judging. You live your life however you want to. It's your property. You put it how you want to. You know, but your house is falling apart, things like that. I come down the road at 10 to 12 miles an hour on our second trip over there, and this dude comes flying out of his house, sees my son get out of the passenger side of the truck, and starts hollering at my son about speeding. And, you know, at first, I thought he was out there for a business card, because I have people ask for a business card all the time. So I get out of the truck, once I realize that that's not what this is, and the guy's just throwing a fit. I mean, he's hollering, it's insane. And I ask him, what's the deal? Well, that's when he starts telling me all this stuff that he's been telling my son. And I said, well, you know, you don't need to be talking to my son like that. You know, he's a kid. Well, I thought he was the driver. Really? How often does the driver get out of the passenger side of the truck? How often is the driver as short as my son is? Now, I got to take that comment back. My son is pretty short for most boys his age. But then again, the guy was about the same height as my son. So, that was interesting. But the reason I got out of the truck is my son knows how to handle himself. And the guy kept getting closer and closer and was kind of pointing like he was fixing to get in my son's face. And I was genuinely concerned that my son might whoop this old man's ass. So I had to get out of the truck and be like, hey, what's going on? But he was throwing a fit because I was going too fast. And I told him, I said, and again, I misspoke. The minimum speed limit in Texas for these kind of roads, for a regular county road, is 30 miles an hour. I said 35. But the point I was getting to the man is, the minimum speed limit is this, and I wasn't doing anywhere near that. But the fact of the matter is, this was a private road, shared by two properties, one of them that I had the authorization to be on. So, legally, there's actually not a speed limit at all. But I was not taking advantage of that. My dash cam even shows that I was not speeding. I wasn't even doing 30. Like I said, I was doing 10 to 12 miles an hour. The road was very short, bumpy, and muddy. Had I went flying down the road, tools would have been flying out of the back of my truck. You know what I'm saying? So it was just completely absurd to me that this guy's out here throwing a fit. And then a little bit later when we're leaving, his wife, girlfriend, whatever she is that was outside on the porch, she's out there snapping pictures of us. Because, that's just terrifying. That's just going to scare the crap out of me. You took my picture. Oh, strike a pose. So, most people would have just, flipped on the bird and drove off. But, my company name is on the side of my truck. So I'm not going to have a nice picture of me flipping the bird at somebody with my company name. That's not going to look real good on Google. But, oh my God. I mean, the guy really doesn't think. Think about that for a moment. You run out and start screaming at somebody's kid like that in this day and time, somebody might get out of the truck and beat the hell out of you or shoot you or worse. I mean, this is the world we live in. When I was a kid, Jeff Foxworthy joked about, he used to bring a frog to school. Nowadays, kids brings guns to school, and if you brought a frog to school today, somebody'd shoot it. Well, it's gotten worse than that. And you're going to run out there in the middle of the street and start screaming at a child like that does not belong to you, to somebody you have never met before, and think that is in any way okay. That's, you ain't right in the head. Now, I'll have some more stories for you. These aren't the funniest ones I've got, but these are the ones I wanted to start with because they're entertaining to me. Hopefully you found some entertainment out of them. And we'll work on my delivery. But I'll always have my hard hat on to protect me from the stupidity, and I highly recommend you get one too. You might even need to check into some safety glasses and maybe a yellow safety vest to keep the stupid people away. That way they can see you and you'll go the other way. But either way, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like the video, like the podcast, whatever you feel the urge to do. And you better feel the urge to do it because you don't want me to come over there and whoop your ass.